What's good, YouTube? SlimTv here to put a center to on this new topic. All right, so we're back with our favorite pair, Fresh and Fit. Now, I've been hearing rumors about them splitting up and things of that nature. And honestly, with my nosy self, I need to figure out, I need to get to the bottom of this, right? So to start off, I'm using this old video that I made called Loyal to a Fault, What is Loyalty, on my channel. And the reason I'm pulling up this video is because in a way I was kind of putting their friendship into question. It wasn't the main topic and it wasn't something I really harped on, but when I re-listened to myself, I could see how I was definitely doing that, because basically I was talking about how Fresh wasn't holding, or no, Myron wasn't holding Fresh accountable for the actions that he did with that woman, getting her pregnant, and you know, the hypocrisy of it and all that. And basically how, you know, you could still be somebody's friend when you hold them accountable. In fact, that's how iron sharpens iron. See, you want all of your friends to better you. So right here, I was just kind of talking about basically that, you know. So let's just get into it, and then I'll just chime in. I got a couple other videos we're gonna watch as well, so let's go.
Part, W Myron, you broke the glass, and maybe the TV. Okay, that was from the heart.
Oh snap! No, my bad, my bad. Look, I was supposed to be at like 15. I think it scooted up while I was looking around. I was supposed to be like right here, because this is before Myron broke the cup and started going wild. See, he just got that tarot. He got that super mad face, and I'm up here in the corner with this with this disappointed look. All right. And when it comes, you know, there's gonna be ups and downs in a friendship. There's gonna be times when your friend does something that does not make sense to you, and you know, you're not gonna beat them up over it. You're not going to, you know, be like, man, you should do this, you should do that. But what you're going to do, as if you're a true friend, is pull them to the side and say, you know what, bro, I noticed this about you, and I think that you can improve doing this, but this is just my 2 cents. Like, everybody that I talk to, everybody that I hold dear in my heart and who I consider a true friend, I always tell them, first and foremost, bro, you're your own man. You're going to make the decisions that you are going to make. But this is my opinion on it. You know? And so I think that Myron should really think about the fact that it's okay to have a different opinion or a different viewpoint from your friend. That doesn't make you any less loyal, even if you disagree, even if you call them out on something that they did. In fact, if it's coming from a place of you actually wanting to better them, it's pure, you know. So let's continue. Yeah, okay, we're not if you want to watch the rest, you know, find this video on my channel. We're not about to listen to Myron go on a rant, but I mean, I think that this goes well with this current situation, because I believe that something happened with Nick Fuentes getting arrested and they had a disagreement. I did a lot of scavenging on YouTube, and I just decided, you know what, let's just react to O'Shea Duke Jackson and let him break it down for us. Let me move myself. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Let me move myself back up to where I belong. All right. So let's watch this.
As you guys see the whole new name, a fresh start.
We all like sports dynasties, but unfortunately, they all come to the end. The Patriots are not what they were after Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers. The 80s and 90s 49ers are no longer what they were back in the day, and neither are the 1990s Cowboys, and neither are the Los Angeles Lakers. Time definitely brings about a change, and things happen, and people move on. People break up. People get older, and they drift apart. And nobody has drifted apart like the Fresh and Fit podcast. And I want to prove to you that Fresh is really going his own separate way. Fresh, if you didn't know, has changed his YouTube name from The Fresh Prince CEO to a new YouTube channel called A Fresh Start. And we're going to get into why he changed his name from Fresh Prince CEO to A Fresh Start. And there are a few different reasons why Fresh is now starting his own podcast without Myron Gaines. Reason number one, Walter, aka Fresh, is looked at as if he is a dummy and doesn't contribute.
So Fresh is not like a threat. Fresh is tiny. Fresh is really a nobody, right?
And see, even the people in even a couple videos ago, a couple Fresh and Fit videos ago, a caller called in and he's talking about why Myron doesn't need Fresh. So it's kind of funny how all this is just kind of tying together. The past videos that I've done up to this point.
He's being carried and he's drooling as he's being carried. He's literally being drooling into the finish line, being dragged. And it's ridiculous because he takes 50%. That should be illegal for like Myron staying after hours, after the after hours, 10 hours to set up a show, and he's always working around the clock, and no one says the Fresh is just paying strippers and doing nothing, and his networking is, hey, I have a clout from Myron.
I don't care who you are or what you are. If you honestly feel that you're a part of a duo and people devalue you and they believe that one person does all the work and you don't do any of the work, it's gonna bother you. I mean, look at Eric Bieniemy, the former offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. He felt the same way. Like, hey, everybody thinks that Andy Reid is the one doing everything on the offensive side of the ball. I need to go and prove myself somewhere else since I can't get a head coaching job. Well, we know how that worked out for Eric Bieniemy, right? One and done in the Washington Commanders, and then the next year, one and done as the offensive coordinator in UCLA. He did a terrible job both years. And his time, well, basically for being a head coaching candidate is done. But Fresh is also tired of that. I think that a part of Fresh...
I mean, yeah, that makes... Man, what was up with my voice? Excuse me. That makes sense. That makes total sense. Like, being in someone's shadow for a period of time, a long period of time, definitely gets annoying. I mean, you see a lot of people kind of break up and kind of do their own thing. Like, even if you look at music, like a lot of like the old music groups, either the head person or one of the background singers always kind of breaks up and does their own thing. If you're into like 90s music, I know that what's that called? My mom loves them. New Edition broke up into like Belle Biv DeVoe. So it took out a couple of the people, and then 3 of them kind of went off and tried to do their own thing. And then, you had Brian McKnight and people of that caliber, breaking off and doing their own music. So, I mean, just look at music as a prime example of that. But I said all that to say, basically just agreeing, honestly. Yeah, like, it makes total sense.
Wants to prove that he can achieve a lot without Myron. Reason number 2. Demonetization. While Myron is the one with the business acumen and the discipline, Myron also is the hothead, and he has different interests than Fresh, and that interest is running his mouth about things he can't change and participating in a great deal of hate speech. We already know that Myron is the reason why Fresh and Fit got demonetized, which hurt Fresh's income, but now Myron's behavior has gotten them demonetized on all their platforms. On X, for example. Let's look at this. On December 31st, the AF Post said, Myron Gaines and Fresh and Fit have had their verification badges removed along with monetization after criticizing mustaches on H-1B visas. Now, if you go to the Myron's page, he has a big following, but there is no badge. If you go to the Fresh and Fit podcast, there is no verification badge. But shout out to brother LTTV, he pointed out something that was interesting. If you go to Walter Weeks, you see the check mark, which means not only is he a verified account, he is also monetized on X. And this means that he can continue to make money on X while Myron and his content cannot. And the reason for that is Elon Musk looks at Fresh and Fit as different entities. Now remember, on YouTube, Fresh and Fit got demonetized all around. So Fresh's YouTube channel got demonetized, Myron's channel got demonetized, and everything they had together got demonetized, which means that Walter doesn't have any opportunity, as long as he is dealing with Fresh, to do any.
Right, sometimes you gotta cut off the dead weight. Now, with this whole loyalty thing, do I think that is a loyal thing to do? I mean, it really depends. If at the end of the day, he's his own man, like I said at the beginning of the show, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. Fresh and Fit have come this far, and let's be honest, the show has been kind of going downhill, and it's been involved in a lot of weird incidents, and not scandals, but just weird happenstances. Like, bro, you got Myron over here yelling at this woman and threatening to put hands on her or something like that, you know, for disrespecting him in his podcast, which, let's be real, that happens every single podcast. Someone is disrespecting Myron. So it's kind of like a staple of the show. You get what you give. If that's what happens every time on the show, then why would we expect anything different? Now, furthermore, there was a time with that where the video we just watched where he threw the cup down and went on this whole rampage. You know, we've had people walk off set, like Fetty Wap. That one time he was there, he walked off because, you know, he thought it was corny. We had Brandon Jamal, the diaper dude, over here crashing out on set. So I mean, yeah, bro, who wants to be a part of a business where the main focus and the main drive for people to watch is when people crash out? That's like, come on, bro. I wouldn't want to be a part of nothing like that. Let's continue.
Anything financially on YouTube. And let me just say like this. He's not going to go and get a job again. He's not going to go back into the private sector. This is his life, and he has to make it work. And the only opportunity that he has to make it work is to start a brand that is different from Myron. Number 3, Myron wanted to branch off and do other podcasts without Fresh first. So Myron is the one that basically threw the first stone. Now, Myron decided that he would go in with a few other people and do a podcast because he had different interests outside of talking about women. I don't know why he felt that people wanted to hear his opinions on geopolitics and, you know, immigration issues, but he thought that he would, and he decided to get together with a few guys. These guys were going to be Nick Fuentes, Myron, and Sneeko.
Flying all, I think we're building a new I think we're building a new alternate connection. I was talking about this with I said I have nothing to say, but I mean, this is a good note to end on. Is like, you know, working on this project with Fuentes, Sneeko, and Myron. Now we're working on this together, and we're talking about, you know, studios and PD and everyone. As I said, we're kind of going in a direction where we all have money. We're all pretty much set, and we're all in a good position.
Yeah.
So we're not really needing to work together to gain money. Of course, we can all get, if we
we
gain
all
more
want
money,
more
great.
but we don't need it. That's why we can say it'd be controversial.
No one needs it at this point. No one needs to make any money.
Elijah was going to host the podcast. He put all this time and effort into it. He invested thousands of dollars of his own money out of pocket, set up the studio. I mean, this was going to be big for him. This is for Elijah to host. It'd be a big deal for him because it's going to be a big show. It's like, and Sneeko pulls out at the last second and totally crushes the whole thing.
But unfortunately, this podcast didn't pan out.
I mean, bro, anything with Sneeko in it, it's just like, bro, just cut it out, dude. No disrespect to Sneeko or anything, but it seems like everything he touches kind of turns to crap. He's been in multiple spaces, multiple crash outs, multiple incidents. Dude gets punched out in public for doing some nonsense or talking some shit to some random guy. So I fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
He's got this busted up tooth. Smile for me, man. This was the security.
I mean, bro, just leave Sneeko at home, bro. Sneeko's like that one cousin that you love, but is like, all right, big dog, you know, I'm gonna just have to, you know, go my own way, and I'll get with you when I get with you, you know, but in the meantime, bro, just do you, because I don't want to be involved with your nonsense, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's continue.
As it crumbled before it even started. So that podcast was over, and that opportunity was over. Number 4, Fresh doesn't want to talk about geopolitical things because, number 1, he has no real interest, and it also can get him demonetized.
But you don't like the controversial content that much, huh? Cost money is the problem.
There's no point to it.
Cost money. I mean, it's...
Listen, I'm all for the truth, but like, reality speaking, once it gets shut down, no one cares.
Yeah, I know it's tough because like
they're gonna shut you down at some point.
Stuff gets banned and stuff, so it's
I'll put you in a
tough.
corner.
It's, it's like what I enjoy speaking about. It's hard to get sponsors. Stuff starts getting pulled. And I like to talk to all kinds of extremist content, not like, but people don't like that.
The problem is, bro, is that like sponsors don't want it, companies don't want it, platforms don't want it.
And see, that's smart because, I mean, from a business aspect, from a moral aspect, you know, I would say, you have to stand for whatever you're gonna stand for, right? And so if someone brings it up to you, say what you need to say. Now I get it, you want to keep business and personal and politics out of the mix. So yeah, if you're this is your main source of income, keep the politics, religion, keep all of that at bay. You can say what religion you practice, say what you believe, a brief synopsis, but don't get into full blown arguments, bro. Fresh is about his money, dude. So at the end of the day, he's gonna do what makes him the most money, and I can't really knock that.
So at some point, you're gonna be in the corner by yourself.
Fresh would rather talk about things that he's comfortable with, like girls, picking up chicks, very basic, silly things like that, which that's where he's at in his life, okay? He's like a guy who likes to go out, talk, drink, deal with chicks who are in the porn industry, deal with OnlyFans girls. That is what Fresh is like.
That was an Asian chick, bro. Yeah, man. See, that's why money can get you women, but I would rather get women based off of how they view me as a person, bro. Anything beyond that, it's not worth it, man. Like, once I get money, how do I know what's real and what's fake? And some people are like, well, man, you just getting what you want. You just getting some of that, the stuff in between her legs, which is cool. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. But at the end of the day, it's not going to provide me any substance beyond just a quick pleasure, So if you're looking for something real, man, get that whole money thing out of your head. Get that whole high value man crap out of your head. It's good to strive to become successful. It's good to strive and actually become someone of value. But you should already have your love life in place. A lot of you guys are doing this shit backwards. I'm going to just keep it 100. Why would I work on getting money so much and then forget about my personal life to the point where when I finally get situated, whether I'm in because it's going to take you some time, bro. Whether you're in your 30s or 40s, you're lucky if you're situated by 28. Now, you're just now learning how to be social. You're just now learning how to talk to people. It's like, come on, bro. It's easier. Talking to people is for free. But as you're trying to grow and make more money, that's going to take up a lot of your time. But you can just get started easily. Just even when you're walking down the street, if you see a cute girl, just say what's up, bro. Just say what's up and see where it leads you, So it's important to kind of have a balance between the two so that you can live a fulfilled life.
Is around, and that's what he really wants to deal with. Things that are fun, things that are not controversial, and things that lead to booty clapping sounds. Number 5, Fresh starts his own podcast and rebrands it, and it calls itself A Fresh Start.
But the point is though, like, it's gonna be a brand new start, and I can't wait for you guys to see today's episode and an episode on Saturday actually, or Friday, whatever day we do it, with some other special guests.
The question is, a fresh start from who? You see, the reality is Fresh needs a fresh start from Myron and all of the people that don't like Fresh that are associated with Myron. Myron is toxic. Myron is not fun. Myron is full of hate. Myron is full of vitriol. And see, that's not what Fresh is about. Fresh wants to make money and spend it all on women and have fun. He's a lively...
It's so funny how O'Shea is just taking shots at both of them the whole time, even though the video is kind of putting Fresh in a new light in a sense, but at the same time, he's still taking shots, So I think it's kind of funny.
Guy. And to be honest, although that Fresh, in my opinion, is a person who is a sellout, I hope that he can get some kind of resolution with this. I think that him leaving Myron, he's not going to be that interesting because nobody wants to listen to Fresh. But even without Myron, he has a better chance of making his own money without Myron because $0, which is what he's going to get dealing with Myron, anything is better than that. So he has no choice but to go out on his own, and eventually they're going to break up for good. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back.
All right, so that's interesting. That kind of went against what I heard. I heard that there was like some type of debate. So let me just find that real quick. Because I'm really curious. Man, this guy's a cornball. I'm sorry. kind of want to get to the point where I see Fresh talk and see if he makes any good points. It seems like he's just quiet the whole time as usual. The parts where he's moving his hand is when he's talking, but it really seems like he's not saying too much. Let's just kind of skip around and get right here, because I'm not going to waste too much of our time. I got stuff I want to do too.
You defend yourself when they attack you?
Yeah.
Who's in trouble? You, right?
Well, she did make a threat. Whatever racist pejorative term you want to use, right? All these things. Which isn't true. We know him in person, etc. But, you know, the media is the media, right? They call us raging racist and evil people as well. So, you know, we are no strangers to that type of thing. And then also, I'm in a unique position because guess what? I'm one of the few people on the internet that has been through this. I remember when the Asian doll debacle happened, I got thousands of death threats every single fucking day, right? People talking shit, people saying they're going to do X, Y, Z, etc. Granted, I'm in Florida, which, you know, this is a stand your ground states where you have no duty to retreat, where versus Illinois is not like that. So, also, I don't, you know, I live in buildings there where there's security, etc. So it's a lot harder for you to, you know, come and confront me. But if you do, it's probably not going to be a good day for you. But the point I'm trying to make is that I've been in his shoes, and I understand when you're getting threatened, people are saying they're going to kill you.
All right, so just for context, I believe that a woman came up to Nick Fuentes' house. It did something of that nature, where there was like a threat or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to piece it together.
People are mailing things to your house. People are texting you randomly. People are blowing up your phone. You're on edge. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if people are coming up to you to say, "Hey, I love your content," or they're trying to. He's gonna be the. So I look at it like, yo, this is bullshit. But again, it hit national news. So.
Oh yeah, and he got arrested.
The DA's office and wherever he lives down 50th house, they're gonna be like, he's gonna beat blah blah blah. First happened, we brought a personal police woman who's
force did she apply to him?
Not surprised.
My question is, what force did she apply to him directly? What force?
She came right up to his front door.
But what did she do? Forcefully. Because imagine this, right? So someone walks up to you, they didn't do nothing, you hit them. Who's in trouble? You, right?
Well, she did make a threat right before on YouTube saying, not on YouTube, on Facebook saying like, I'm gonna go confront him, whatever.
And do what?
We don't know. And he didn't know.
But if someone's talking to you and you hit them and they didn't touch you, is that self-defense?
Well, why wait and find out?
But okay, isn't self-defense you defending yourself?
Okay. So I agree with that sentiment, especially if it's a man, bro. Like if you answer your door and it's like a big dude and, you know, he has a opposing stance against you, or he has a menacing look on his face, and you feel like you need to hit somebody, honestly, bro, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I would rather you be safe than be sorry, for sure. But because it's a woman, I mean, it's a little bit different. And I don't want to hear nothing about double standards and this and that. I mean, the truth of the matter is that as a man, you are stronger than a woman. Plain and simple. So if a woman comes to my door and she has an opposing, you know, stance against me, is looking like she wants to do something, but, you know, she doesn't have a gun, she doesn't have a knife, you know, she's not reaching back behind her, like her hand, I can see her hands. Like, you know, I would either just shut the door, lock the door, and just go sit down, or I would address it head on and have a conversation. You know, if I'm a figure to where people feel like they need to come and talk to me. She says when a woman says confront, that usually means that she wants to go and talk. Well, if it's a black woman, she might put hands on you. I'm not gonna hold you, because sometimes I'm gonna go confront her. But that's usually when they're talking about other women. You know, if I hear one woman say I'm gonna go confront another woman, I'm thinking, all right, they're about to fight. But most of the time, it's really just that they want to have a conversation. So I think that Fresh does have a point right here.
Yourself when they attack you?
Yeah, she went to his house.
But she didn't attack him.
Doesn't matter, went to his house. You don't know what she's gonna do. I wouldn't have chanced it either. Someone shows up at your front door that you don't know on some weirdo shit, like, yeah, first thing you did was create distance right away.
But okay, hold on.
Pushed her off the thing.
Someone comes to my door, I don't know, I'm not opening the door. Period. If you're gonna do that, like, listen, I'm not saying that what he did wasn't justified because of his actual threats and all that stuff. I'm just saying she didn't attack him directly. So they can argue and say, listen, she didn't even touch him. He pushed her and maced her.
Good.
And in the court,
I think she's lucky that he only did that.
And in the court, they're gonna argue, oh, it's an old lady that's one of them. Oh, you're cooked. That's what I think.
I think if he has a halfway competent lawyer, he'll be able to. Because, bro, you've been getting death threats. Someone shows up at your house. Are you gonna sit there and chance it? Like, oh yeah, let me open the door and see what she's gonna do? No.
Why open the door at all? I mean, I think sometimes people just want to have a reason to act out, because why are we opening the door at all? If you are that on edge, bro, just sit there. Like, bro, there are people who literally just ignore when they know that they're being served by a lawyer and the lawyer comes to their house. They know the lawyer's there, but they'll just sit in their house, keep the door shut. So how come we can't keep the door shut when someone comes to our house and you have a bad feeling about it? Or you feel the need to have your mace and pepper spray ready, and you feel the need to put your hands on people. How come we can't just sit in the house, turn on some TV, and be quiet, or edit a video?
That nigga gave her the fucking Spartan kick, bro. You know, like.
This is Sparta!
Like, bitch, I'm not gonna even give you the chance to do some shit.
Because if I'm smart, he played into their hands directly. Because now they got him dead to rights.
And also keep in mind, people were mailing his shit to his house. So
why open up the door?
He don't know what she was doing. Like, hey, don't drop shit off at my front door.
If I see somebody that I don't know or trust, nigga, I'm not opening no damn door. Like, bro, you might kind of shoot me. So if that's the case, like, okay, listen, I'm thinking logical.
Okay, so honestly, I think this debate is kind of just meh. And they're talking about how Fresh...
Do not pay somebody.
How nobody wants to listen to Fresh, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I mean, yeah, hearing him talk about stuff like that is kind of boring. But we get the gist. Are they really splitting up? I don't know. As I stated at the very beginning of this video, we were talking about them holding each other accountable, and it seems like they rarely do that. It seems like they kind of. Fresh is too scared to really confront Myron about some of the nonsense that he has done in the past. And Myron just kind of lets Fresh be hypocritical. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to kind of split up and do something else, Seems like Myron is still in the mix a little bit, but not as much. He has him in a couple of his videos, and I'm sure that he'll probably have him in some more. But I do think that even if I think Fresh and Fit are still going to be friends. I'm not going to spin a narrative and say that they're not. But I think that this might be the end of the actual Fresh and Fit podcast as an actual, I wouldn't even say a monolith, but as a main thing that Fresh is doing in his life. I think that Fresh, and honestly, I think it's good for him. I think that Fresh would actually be a pretty good vlogger. Seems like that's what he's up to, kind of show off the lifestyle that he's created. For the people that like that whole Miami lifestyle, that don't live in Miami and like to see nice cars and stuff. I mean, hey, come check out a Fresh Start. He has DJ Academics. He got Andrew Tate, Michael Blackson. I don't know who this guy is. Bandman Kevo, who got a chest implant, a BBL chest. And Mike Kiyosaki, or what's his name? I have his book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he looks so out of place. I'm sorry. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, on his little banner. I mean, I don't think he belongs there. Not because he's not important, but just because his demeanor and what he's wearing kind of just offsets everything else. I mean, I don't know who these two guys are, but you got a comedian. He's trying to show that he knows a wide range of people, so I get it. But best of luck to Fresh, man. If this means that I don't have to react to any more Fresh and Fit content and nonsense that they like to do on their corny show, I'm all for it, man. Fresh, get out there, do what you got to do. Lastly, I mean, is Fresh a sellout? He built the platform with Myron, man. They had a good run, and honestly, what else can they do at this point if they're demonetized off of everywhere except for Rumble? I don't be on Rumble. Maybe some of you guys do. I think ultimately, again, it's his choice. And I think that as long as he keeps Myron around and does the show every once in a while, I don't think he's a sellout. I really don't, because as a man, he's branching off and doing his own thing, as I've repeatedly said. And honestly, I really don't have a problem with that, bro. It's not like he's throwing Myron under the bus. I haven't really heard him say anything crazy about Myron. So he could do whatever the hell he wants to do. But with all that being said, guys, like, subscribe, share, and comment. More content coming soon. We're done with Fresh and Fit, bro. I think that this is it. I really do. Peace.